5-minute Friday. It's raining. Hopefully you can hear this okay over my still raspy voice. So, alright, hopefully the rain on the windshield isn't too loud, but for this week we're going to be talking about coloring and oxide coloring in stainless, and how is it good, how's it bad, is it good, is it bad, see what we get into. So let's put 5 minutes on the clock and see what happens. Alright, so I've heard a lot of different things when it comes to coloring that you get when you're welding stainless, and my favorite thing that I've heard was a silver weld is a cold weld. And I can see where they were coming when they said that, but at the same time, when you have a silver weld and like the toes are burned in really good and it's 100% burnt through, how is that a cold weld? All that to me means you had really good gas coverage, your travel speed, and your heat were right. So a lot of people, I've worked with people that they swear that a gray stainless weld is exactly what you're looking for. Almost a very, very dark gray pushing black. I don't want to say that they're wrong, but that's not for me. I'm not doing that. When it comes to colors, a lot of things can affect it. Like I said, your gas coverage is a big one. Your heat that you're using is a big one. Your travel speed's a big one. But one thing a lot of people don't think about as something that affects the coloring is the cleanliness of the part. If you've got a bunch of oil or residual whatever left on the material, that's going to burn on your material, and that's going to affect your gas. That smoke that's coming off is going to go up into the cup, and it's going to mess up your gas, and ultimately it's going to affect the coloring, and it's going to affect the way the puddle flows too. So taking the time to wipe everything down with acetone or alcohol or methanol or whatever you've got, you'll notice a huge difference in the coloring just because the part was clean. And you also notice along the edges in that heat affected zone, all the oils and stuff like that that are left on the part from like the saw or a machining operation or something like that, that'll burn onto the material, and sometimes that's really hard to get off, and customers don't always want to use a wire brush or Scotch-Brite or something to get that off if they're using a chemical cleaner. They just want to wipe that stuff on with their machine and it comes right off. So if you're having a lot of problems with getting too much color, or your colors are very, very dark or something along those lines, like I said, look at, are you running maybe a little bit too hot for how fast you're going? You might be going a little bit too slow for the amperage you're running. You might need to speed up a little bit. Are you not prepping your parts properly? Do you have a contaminated tungsten? That can change different things. That can add a bunch of soot to it, which is going to affect the gas flow. It's going to affect the way the arc flows, everything. Is coloring absolutely crucial? No, I don't think so. I think it's an indicator to the person, like operator or welder or whatever you want to call it. I think it's an indicator to let you know, are you going too slow? Can you speed up? Can you go a little bit hotter and a little bit faster and get the same results but a little less coloring? If you're noticing a little burned area, or your welds are coming out always just a weird color or something like that, that could be like I said, there might be some residual stuff on the material that you didn't even know was there, but once it started to get hot enough to burn, it comes off. So take the time and clean up the material a little bit and see if that helps. But in all honesty though, if you're okay with a solid gray weld and you wire brush it and it comes off nice and silver and it's really clean, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. If your employer's okay with that, there's nothing wrong with that. If you are looking for, you know, that perfect dime look with silver beads, like with silver dimes and everything, well, you're gonna have to take a little time and clean up the material. You might have to wipe your rods off a little bit more, you know, speed up, do whatever you've got to do to get it right, and you'll notice everything flows a little bit better, flows a little bit nicer, the puddle's a little bit more stable when everything is right. And like I said, if you're okay with everything being gray and you may notice your puddles swimming around a little bit, hey, I can't fault you. So hopefully that helped a little bit. Hopefully you kind of maybe figured out a little bit more about the coloring in stainless and how you might be able to improve your coloring or identify what the coloring may indicate with the weld that you're laying on your stainless. So hopefully you like this one, and we'll catch you next week. If you have any questions you'd like to hear on a future 5-Minute Friday, let me know in the comments below, or head over to the forum and add your comment to the forum on the 5-Minute Friday thread, and we'll catch you next week.